awesome co-host.
Hi everyone, it's me, Pearl, and today we have some more books for you guys that we would love to share. So let's get started.
Yes, and you know I love reading, and I didn't grow up reading so many books, so it's really a pleasure for me reading and sharing what we read with our audience. So let's get started. What do you have?
So our first book is a picture book. It's called Honk. It is written by Pamela Duncan Edwards and illustrated by Henry Cole.
Yes.
This is a great book. It is about a swan named Mimi, and she just loves ballet, and she just watches the ballerinas every day and practices all the moves they do.
Yes.
So one night there is a performance at this nice fancy hall, and she really wants to get in, but she tries and tries and tries again, but she can't get in. When she's about to give up, she sees a ballerina running late, and she goes into a back door, and Mimi follows. And before anyone can take her out, the performance starts, and she is on stage, and she's doing amazing. And then everyone loves it, and they're throwing roses, and so she gets the fame that she has always wanted.
Yes, and you know swans are very graceful in the way they walk, right?
Yes.
So, wow, that's a great story. And so our next book is Greetings, Leroy. This book is written by Itah Sadu and pictured by Alix, Delinois. So this is a story of a little boy named Leroy. He moves from Jamaica to Canada with his family. And you can imagine being a new place, right? He has to adapt to a new environment, make new friends. And let me tell you, even the weather is so different. So he noticed that it's so cold, it feels like even the sun is cold. And so in this book, he's writing a story, a letter to his friends back home, trying to tell them about his new life. And so this is really a great story because he's very proud to be Jamaican. And actually the next door neighbor gave him a pin of Bob Marley, and Bob Marley was a famous international musician. He was adored in Jamaica. So this boy is so happy to receive this pin, and when he gets to school he wants to show the pin to his friends, but it happens that he lost the pin. But you have to read the book to find out how he lost the pin. And so I'm not gonna give you the whole story, but this is beautifully written, and I can tell you, if you are an immigrant settling in a new country, this is a great book for your kids, because this shows you that you can be yourself, you know, and still being able to find your place in a new country. Because this boy was so proud of it, you know, when he finally found his pin and was able to share so much with his friends. So great book, and I love the illustration. If you can see, very bright. I think it's oil paint, and I mean it's so vivid. I don't know if you can see the illustrations in this book. So great. Now what do we have next for all the kids?
Next I have one of my favorite series, even though I just started it. This is the book one in the series, The Last Kids on Earth. I just finished this book. It is so amazing.
Yes.
It describes the life of these kids in a post-apocalyptic world with monsters and zombies. And it's just really crazy, and they just have to take one day at a time.
Yes.
And
because
just
there's so
try
many things
to stay
happening.
alive in this very scary world.
Yes.
So I definitely recommend this book. It is so amazing, And I'm currently reading book 2 in the series, so definitely check this book out and the whole series. So yeah, definitely recommend
What's the
it.
name of the author?
The author is Max Brallier.
Okay.
Illustrated by Douglas Holgate.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
definitely try and find this at your local library.
Great. Next.
So our next book is probably an easier book to read. It's also a series, but it has pictures, a lot more pictures, as you can see.
Yes.
It's a very popular series. It is Babysitter's Little Sisters. So it is kind of it's kind of part of the Babysitters Club books, which is very popular, but it's their little sisters.
Yes.
So this one is book 4, Karen's Kitty Cat Club. So yes, it's a graphic novel by Katy, Farina. So this is a very cute book for younger kids, and it's really, really nice. So I definitely recommend it.
Yes.
And
How
then-
long does it take you to read one of those books?
Oh, just like a day. It's really short,
Okay.
and it's a really good book, though.
Great.
And this one is The Babysitters Club, a graphic novel by Chang Ching.
Yes.
So this is also a really good book. It also has a lot of pictures, as you can see.
Yes.
Different art style, but it's really, really nice. So I definitely recommend both of the Babysitter Club books. I have read a lot of these books, and this is book 10.
Okay.
So this is actually a new book.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Great. And especially now that we are entering the holiday season, right? If you are looking for something to read, that would be great.
And this last book is also part of a series. This is book 2, actually. It's called The Clubhouse Mysteries, Lost in the Tunnel of Time.
Yes.
By Shannon M. Draper. So I really, really like this series. It's also, once again, very short, so you can even read it in only 1, 2, or 3 sittings.
Yes.
Probably won't take you very long, so I definitely recommend this book for especially kids who are just starting to read chapter books. This is a really nice short book, and it's a mystery. So
Yes.
I love mysteries, so I definitely recommend it.
So
This
what is the mystery they're trying to solve in this book?
In this book, they get a map from one of their older neighbors, and apparently they're trying to find where this map is meant for, and they think it's for the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
And so they go to their school, and there's this kind of trap door, and they go down into it. It's kind of into like a dirt basement, but it's like really big.
Yes.
And so they go inside with their flashlights, and then the door closes behind them, and when they try and get out, it's locked. So they go deeper and deeper into the tunnel,
Yes.
and you should read this book to find out what happens next.
Yes.
And this is actually also a series. So read book 1 first.
Yes.
This is actually book 2. So.
And I love how the author is able to weave in element of history, right? Because the Underground Railroad existed, right? And
Yes.
it was, if you know from history, it was just various ways and means black people enslaved were able to free themselves and were helped along the road wherever they went, you know. And so it's history, and it's very important to know about history. So that's why I love when they put those elements in a book, and it's appropriate for, you know, the age group, right? Yes. And so, thank you very much. That was really, I actually learned a lot because I didn't read any of those books, but it feels like you really capture everything that is, in those books. So now we are going to move on straight to adult section.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to start with this book, Maid. So, hard work, low pay, and a mother's will to survive. Written by Stephanie Land. So this book, Maid, is about, as you can see the gloves, it's really a symbol of what is happening in this book, hard work. So this mother has a little girl, Mia, and she is fighting the custody with the little girl's dad, Jamie, but now she became a single mother and had to survive, and she had to do difficult, very difficult work, cleaning, toilet, houses, you name it. And so throughout the book, she talks about how it's difficult for her to find, a safe housing for the little girl. She's trying to provide, present little things that you would think it's easy to get, but it's not easy for so many people, millions of people. And I love this book because they actually made a movie out of it. I haven't watched the movie, but there's a movie on Netflix. And let me tell you, when I first came to America, of course I did very hard work. So reading this book brought back so many memories, and I know what it is to feel like you're trying so hard and it's not coming by. And so beautiful written, and I love that books like this can capture what is really happening in real world. So if you are looking for something to read, very powerful, profound, you should read Maid. Okay, so my next pick, guys, The Last Gift. This is a book written by Abdul Razak Ghana, and he is the 2021 Nobel Prize in Literature. And I'm telling you, this is the first book that I'm reading from this author, and I can see why he is so deserving of this prize, because his writing is so profound, so vivid. I mean, he's able to bring you into this family. So this is about a man who suddenly became ill, and he has his wife who now has to take care of two kids, a girl and a boy, and they are almost in their late teenage year. So these two kids are finding their way into a world. They have to define themselves, who they are. But the problem is that they really don't know much about their family's past, so they don't know much about the mother's life. The family have to come to terms with the dad's illness, and the dad has to come to terms with his past. And so it's just a page turner, because from one page to the next, you just have the family going through, digging very deep to understand, things that happened in the past. And those are the things that actually define who they are and who they become. So, great book. And, I am so excited that I was able to read this book, and I can't wait to read a second book from this author. He's been writing for over 20 years now. So, I'm very happy. If you can find this book, The Last Gift, do not hesitate. Great. And the last one that I have for today is Will. Do you know Will Smith? Mm-hmm. Yes. So, when I picked this book, I thought I was just going to read about, a celebrity just talking about their life and how famous they are. But no, This book is about everything you can think of, somebody just telling you about his humble beginnings and how, he was able to follow his passion, which was music. Do you know that his beginnings is really in hip hop?
Wow, didn't know that.
Yes. And so, this book, when I picked it, I thought, oh, I'm going to read about everything Will Smith, big life, everything huge. But no, I'm telling you, this book, it's really about Will Smith as the man. Somebody who grew up in Philadelphia and from an educated mother. And his family dream, of course, was for him to go to college. But as you read this book, you found out that very early on in his teenage year, he discovered a passion for hip hop. And then he began, to write rhyming words with his friend, Jazzy Jeff. I mean, this is so beautiful because it really tells you how you never know what your future would be like, but you can always try to follow your passion. And his passion was music. So it was very disappointing for his mother when he didn't go to college, but he promised them he had a year to be able to prove that, he can do well in music. And they said yes, they're going to give him a year. And I'm telling you, that was the beginning of his life just, changing. And throughout this book, you see how his evolution, he just didn't travel straight to Hollywood. It took a lot of time, a lot of training. And I can just imagine reading through the lines, the first hip hop lines that he wrote when he was still a teenager. And it was just beautiful, beautiful written. And I can tell you the content of this book, everybody should read it. When you see titles like fear, fantasy, performance, power, hope, ignorance, adventure, pain, destruction, adaptation, desire, I mean, I can name it. Each chapter, it's really a story about following your passion, being resilient, and never let people tell you cannot do it, because you stick to your passion, train very well, and the results would always be there. And remember, I always tell you that, for me now, writing is one of my passion, and learning the craft of writing. This book, it's so amazing because it's written in scene. And when you are writing a memoir and you have, theme, you are invited, and then you stay in, you listen, you follow the character, and then at the end you see him leaving the scene, which is just so beautiful the way he did it. And actually he wrote the book with another person, because usually you can write a book with someone, and I can imagine that he wrote the book with Mark Manson. So he's the #1 New York Times best-selling author of Everything Is. I'm not going to say the word, it's a very colorful word. But throughout this book, there's a little bit of colorful language, which is not really my style, but I can understand why there will be such a colorful language. But I hope that Will Smith is able to write another book like this, but kind of a cleaner version for teenagers, because I'm telling you, this book is very inspiring. Yes, if you skip a little bit of that colorful language. And so, I'm from Africa, we don't use so much of that colorful language, so it was a little bit of a problem for me reading all that. But the message in this book is clear. It's a message of hope, of resilience, of knowing who you are. And it's a message that at the end of the day, if you follow your passion and you walk and make sure you stay on track, you always find a result. Very empowering.
And I have one thing to say about this book.
Yes.
I didn't read it, but the cover is very nice.
Yes.
It definitely goes along with the memo in this book.
Yes.
Like the hip hop and all that.
Yes, the
so
theme.
I really like
The graffiti.
especially the back.
Yes.
So yeah.
And you can even see from, this look very natural, very simple. And when I look at the painting, I can see the serenity in his eyes. And it also looks like he's just saying, this is me. So raw, so natural. And I love it. So this is by far the best book I have read in 2021, hands down to Will Smith.
So that's all the books we have for you guys today. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and click that notification bell down below so you know when we upload new videos every single time.
Yes, and thank you, and please do not forget to check our website, envisionhope.com. So we are very excited. We are moving towards the end of the year, so we have more video coming. How we are going to wrap up the end of the year, we don't know yet, but maybe a surprise from my co-host. So stay tuned, guys, and thank you for watching.
Bye!